Hey, Tyler here. So today I'm going to help you improve your English using a video from this amazing YouTuber, Leah, aka SniperWolf. If you want to check her YouTube channel, the link is in the description. So let's get to work.
Literally made of like plastic. You know, I have to do the smell test just in case. I'm gonna let these dry a little and we'll try them on. This thing is still moist.
The first thing I want to mention here is this I'm going to. Did you notice she didn't say I am going to? Well, we have different ways to say this, so let me show you all the options we have here. We're going to start with the longest one until we get to the shortest one. So the first one is I am going to. Then we can go a little shorter, I'm going to. Then I'm gonna. Then something interesting happens here. We can eliminate the G sound and connect I'm with gonna without the G sound. So it becomes I'm gonna go. And we still have one version that's even shorter, which is I'ma. I think the two most common versions are I'm gonna and I'mma. For example, I'm gonna do this later, or I'm gonna do this later. Make sure to practice all of these versions so it becomes more common in your brain and you create that mind-muscle connection. Now let's check these two words here. There's something interesting that happens here. Notice how she's now releasing the T sound in let. So she's not really saying let these dry. And I don't think anyone would because it would sound extremely unnatural. Usually when we have words that end in a T sound, we tend to hold the T sound so you're not releasing that sound. Especially if after this word that ends in T, we have another word that begins in a consonant sound. And you have two ways to make sure you hold this T sound. One, you can do it by blocking the air with your tongue, which all you have to do is to place the tip of your tongue behind your upper front teeth and block the air. To improve the mind-muscle connection, you can also put your hand in front of your mouth when you want to stop the sound. Just to practice, like this. Let these dry. Let these dry. Or you can use a glottal stop, which is when we block the air by closing the vocal cords. A great way to practice this is to say, uh-oh, uh-oh. Notice that when you say uh-oh, it's almost like you're blocking the air. So after you're able to create this uh-oh sound, try to do it with words. So say uh-oh first and then go to the word like this. Uh-oh, let. Uh-oh, let. Remember that this is one option to connect words, but we have other ways to do it. By the way, if you prefer to study in a more structured way, one thing at a time in the right order, you can check my full American accent training. I'm going to leave the link in the description so you can check it if you want. So let's go to the next word now.
I'm gonna let these dry a little and we'll try them on.
So here, notice how she didn't say the full version of end. This is very common. We usually pronounce it as N, like rock and roll, black and white. We usually pronounce it as end if we're thinking. Then we tend to emphasize it a bit more, but normally we just pronounce it as N. This one here is super interesting because we have three ways to pronounce it. So you can simply connect we and the dark L and will and say will. We'll call you later. We can pronounce it with an I sound like will. We'll call you later. Or change to a schwa sound and say wool. We'll call you later. They're all okay. It just really depends if you're emphasizing this word or not, and also what part of the country you're from.
I'm gonna let these dry a little and we'll try them on.
Did you notice here she didn't say try them on? What she did was she connected try and them. And when we do that, we usually eliminate that TH sound. So she said try them on. Same thing happens with he, her, him. For example, you said he was coming, or call her now, or tell him the truth. You can still pronounce the H or TH sound, But when we have a verb before these words, we usually don't pronounce it. Unless we're emphasizing the word or if it's the first word of the sentence. For example, he told me he was coming. See how I said the H in the first word, but I didn't say the H in the second word? So try to practice everything I showed you here and let me know in the comments if you want me to bring anything here. Thank you so much. See you next video. Over and out.
Oh, I'm slipping away, so don't let